And we're live. Hey, good morning. It's the Monday Morning Motivator with Jessica Magoch, CEO of JPM Sales Partners, teaching you everything I learned recruiting, training, and leading a B2B commission-only sales team from zero to over $100 million in 3 years. And last week, I shared with you guys the 6 pillars of successful sales leadership. Right? Do you remember what they were? You can go back to last week's meeting. It would be meeting number 30. Those 6 pillars are recruiting, training, motivation, accountability, coaching, and finally management, even though you thought you were just managing, right? And I also told you that most sales managers only spend about 20% of their time coaching. And we're gonna try to flip that in the sales management world and make that 80% of your time. And that is, I guarantee, nearly impossible unless you automate the other 5 pillars that we spoke about. So you can spend more time coaching. We're gonna automate recruiting, training, motivation, accountability, and the management of your sales team, because those are the things that you can automate. Coaching, you can't automate. You got to be there live. You got to be there in the trenches with them, seeing them live in action, watching their body language, and making inferences on, what they've got to change in their mindset. It's different from sales training. Sales training is about sales skills. Sales coaching is about mindset and how the person needs to change coming into the situation so they can perform at their best. Awesome. So we only have 10 minutes. We're going to fly through this sales recruiting on autopilot. So step 1 was recruiting the right people to begin with. Now, if you have a couple options to automate sales recruiting. One major one is you can outsource it, right? So if you have the funds to pay $10,000 to $15,000 per new hire, then go for it, right? That will completely outsource your sales recruiting process immediately. However, if you're hiring 5 new salespeople every week consistently on a regular basis, and you know how to train them and coach them and manage the team on autopilot, salespeople pay for themselves. So there should be no limit to the number of people you can hire. So that 10 to 15 per recruit can become a limitation on that growth. So you really need to eventually learn how to do this in-house and automate your recruiting funnel and assess people on your own. And once you get it set up, it's set up, okay? So I'm gonna take you through the steps to automating your recruiting funnel. And ultimately, you're gonna remove yourself as much as possible as a sales leader, a sales manager, or entrepreneur, CEO, remove yourself as much as possible from the recruiting funnel so that you're only there at the critical moments and you can spend more time on the parts of the recruiting funnel that you need to be at and let the rest of it run itself. The whole idea of a funnel is that it runs itself. So you set up a funnel, and you're used to hearing this in sales and marketing funnels. Well, recruiting is no different. So you set up a recruiting funnel where you have a wide open mouth at the top, and you're bringing in lots and lots and lots of people into the top of the funnel. And then step by step, they eliminate themselves as they go through the process, because you're going to put them through certain tests inside your recruiting funnel so that your own judgment or your own, subjective opinion or that of the team isn't as much of a factor. It's hard to totally ignore, but it won't be as much of a factor in your hiring process. The recruiting funnel itself, whoever ends up at the bottom, at the end of that funnel, and still alive, those are the people that you're going to hire. And if it's set up right, then you don't have to question whether those people will perform. Awesome. So if you want a full 1 hour long training on this, I did this in meeting 5, and I'll put the link below. I went through the whole funnel and drew it out for you guys and showed you how to interview salespeople and all of that. So how do you supercharge your sales recruiting so you can grow quickly and spend more time coaching? because coaching is what's going to amplify your results by 4x, right? Those are what the stats show. Great training and coaching together will 4x your results. So it's totally worth it. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. So we have a bunch of steps to go through. I'll put them down here below when we're done. Step 1 is, and you're going to hear a lot of similarities between sales and recruiting. Okay. So you're going to be like, wait, these terms sound familiar. Step 1, you need to define your ideal recruiting avatar. Who makes a great team member for you? Who speaks well to your ideal customer, right? What are the personality traits that this person has? Okay. And that'll help you do step 2, which is to develop a compelling recruiting message. So this creates the foundation of making sure you get the right people into your funnel. So this is more than just like make a ton of money, about how much money it is or what the job requirements are. You're really going to sell them on the mission of the company, and that that's something that motivates them in and of itself, because the money, after a while, or it doesn't motivate as much. So they need to have a strong mission behind what they're doing. So our old company was like, if you feel like, access to healthcare is important to everyone, then come join our team and make sure that our company, gets our mission out there. Then that's what salespeople do. Step 3 is be everywhere. Now that you've got your job posting message, put it everywhere, create graphics to go with it to draw attention, do fairs, do ads, do job boards. If they're paid ones, test them out, but don't pass up any of the free ones. You should be on every free job board and using your social media to share jobs. Everybody in the company should be recruiting. And also use Instagram ads and Facebook ads. Wherever your ideal recruit is, that's where you can advertise. Step 4 is to create an application. So the application is really a formality, but just by completing it, they'll have moved on to the next step of the process, okay? Then step 5 is you're going to remove yourself from the funnel, right? So none of these so far needed you, and you're going to remove yourself as much as possible. So that might be getting a recruiting assistant to do to screening phone calls and managing the whole system of this. Step 6 is do a phone screen. So here, the questions you ask are almost as irrelevant as the person actually showing up for the phone screen on time, right? So these are the kinds of things that will help you eliminate people. You invite everyone in for a phone screen. They don't know that everyone was invited, but hey, congrats, you were selected for a phone screen. This is your time. Call in to us at this time. You don't get a call, person's completely eliminated. There's no second chances, right? Because they'll show who they are in the interview process. And then you bring them in for a group interview. I could probably do a whole other training on group interviews. Then you're going to do a one-on-one interview. Step 9 is to have them do a live presentation. Again, now we have all these locks, right? We're going to have 18 different locks that they have to go through in the canal. And then step 10 is to assess them. So if you have a very fair way of grading people so it's not subjective, you could check out my Stealth EQ Undercover Sales Etiquette Assessment for help with that. Step 11 is wait. Never offer them on a job on the spot. You need to build anticipation. Step 12 is to make an offer. Step 13 is an onboarding meeting to set expectations. 14 is a VIP dinner or reception with their significant other. You need to get buy-in from their significant other on the job, because you're going to need their support when they get home. Step 15 is to train them. Yes, this is part of the recruiting funnel. And because if they don't get through your bootcamp style training, which is a lot of it will be self-guided and you'll get to see how they really perform in action, then step 16 is to eliminate them. So the first round of elimination should actually be after the first week of work, and then another one after, a few weeks after that. And then 3 weeks. Big mistake. Companies wait way too long when they see the signs up front, and it's not fair to either of you. And step 18 is repeat that funnel. Okay. So I'm going to drop those steps below, and remember, when you set this up, it's set up once and then you can set it and forget it. And you'll just be there as interviewees show up for your meetings. All right, guys, next week we'll be automating the next step training. See you then. Bye.